Okay, cool. So it's excellent, right? Cool. All right. Cool. So I think you guys can see me now, right? Cool. Okay. So even though this is not the best case scenario, one of the big things, and here's the difference, right? If I have a chair, I'm just gonna have to, let me show you the difference, guys, between speaking while you're standing and speaking while you're sitting, okay? So when I'm speaking and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome in to this meeting. Really appreciate you guys. If you guys don't know me, my name is Roy. For you newbies out there, really appreciate you guys being here today. But today I wanna focus on something that's very important, okay? So this is me sitting. Now, I'm not really good at messing up, but here's what it sounds like when I'm actually standing, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead, let's get this started. So first and foremost, for you guys that don't know me, my name is Roy. I am the senior manager here, especially with getting you guys better in your communication skills. But more frankly, or to put it into perspective, I want you guys to know that I'm here for anybody or everybody and anybody that needs help the way they communicate. Does that make sense, guys? Great. So let's go ahead, let's get started. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Okay, so if you notice the difference between both, okay, so let me go ahead and have a seat. So if you notice the difference between both, between me sitting and between me standing, for you guys, for the average viewer, you may not see a difference because I've been doing this for a long time. But for myself, I can hear my speech more clearer. I feel more confident and I know exactly what I'm talking about, especially with my movements, right? Now, when I'm sitting down, especially when I have my hands right now, I'm using hand gestures. And it's gonna be another time for another story when I teach you guys about hand gestures. But when I'm standing, my diaphragm is open, my body is open. I'm literally standing and looking at everybody straight into their eyes. And I just feel, I can just feel that confidence versus sitting down, right? Especially if people are either hovering over me because I'm super short or vice versa, right? Or I have to look down, okay? But I can tell right now, especially when I'm sitting, I have to project my voice just a little higher. So it's like I can feel myself put out more effort sitting down than I am when I stand up, right? So if you notice, when I stand up, I can speak like this all day, every day. I can basically look at you and say, hey, we gotta get better with our communication skills. You guys ready for this? Let's get it going. Now, if I go here and I'm like, hey guys, today I want you guys to get ready because I wanna upgrade your communication skills. Let's get it going, right? I can feel the weight of the world in my chest. I have to put out more effort. Okay. Now, when you're sitting down, you guys may not notice this, but when you're sitting down, it's like you're putting in more effort to speak versus if you're standing. Does that make sense? So when you guys do your next meeting, and again, this is the first live, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of stuff that you guys can do, but at the same time, take notes. There's so much to learn here. Okay. I might be going in a tangent, but at the same time, I'm super passionate about this. I know that most of you guys out there right now, especially when you're speaking to your boss, or if you're a boss and you're speaking to your people and you're trying to get to them, but you just can't because whatever you're saying is going in one ear and out the other, right? And it really comes down to what you guys do. Another thing that I want to mention to you guys, okay, and this is coming from the heart, all right? This is coming straight from the heart. I say this all the time to everybody that I speak to about this, okay? Friends, family, acquaintances, business partners. Let me grab my drink real quick. Man, and here's, oh boy, okay. Where it was looking for me. Okay, cool. There we are. I've always told everybody else, especially if you start a business, okay? If you want a very successful business, no matter what it is out there, okay, okay, point the finger at yourself, me, yeah, you. I'm talking about you. You guys need to start out carrying your freaking competition. Okay, there, I said it. Okay? That might be the secret sauces of all secret sauces. It's the best kept secret that everybody knows but nobody implements. Okay? You guys need to start caring about your people. And I don't mean in this way. Let me give you an example. I don't mean it by, hey, the goal was 5 this week. How come you only sold 2? We need to start ramping it up, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting to know that person from a human level, a humanistic level. Even if that's a word. I don't know. Maybe I made it up. I'm not sure. But you guys need to start caring about your employees. People, position of power, CEOs, whatever. I hear it all the time. I hear it all the freaking time with people talking about, working for corporate is just a nightmare because they care about numbers. They care about performance. They care about this. They care about that, right? But here's the crazy part, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Everybody, we all care about metrics. We want to know where the numbers are coming from. We need to know, especially if you're a YouTuber or a business or anything else, right? Or even a sports team. Analytics is super important, right? But here's the crazy part. The differences between man, woman, and man/woman versus machine. Okay? One is completely logical. The other one is logical/emotional. Okay? It's one thing if analytics is just based on numbers, and if you perform to standards, you'll be able to hit your goals, okay? But one thing that people need to understand, especially in this economy, especially from the past, even in the future, no matter what, is going to be exactly the same, okay? The world revolves around communication, okay? Or how about this? Everybody knows this. The world revolves around businesses, how successful businesses are run, okay? The more successful businesses are in a country, the higher the GDP, and the higher the GDP, the more rich a country can be, okay? But I don't know if I'm even saying that right. You guys can correct me in the chat. I don't care, okay? That's not my forte. I think I heard that somewhere. But what I want you guys to understand is that on top of business is communication, okay? In order for this person on one hand to convince this other person on the other hand to subscribe to their product or service, they have to convince them otherwise, all right? It's an exchange of currency for product or service that's going to help them become bigger, faster, stronger. It's either going to be based on convenience or it's going to help them save money and or / reduce their costs or save money or make more money. Does that make sense? And here's the crazy part. Logically, not all, or businesses are not based on logic 100% of the time. It's not. You don't believe me? Look at Shark Tank. Okay, I'll give you an example. Like one of the episodes, and I'll even say this in general. I'm telling you, my mind is going faster than my mouth because I have so much to say. I'll give you an example, okay? Certain people that come to Shark Tank, some of these people are smart, some of these people are not so smart. Some of the smart people are there for one of two reasons, either to get funding or to get attention. And the sharks, most of the time, can pinpoint the BS from a mile away, okay? Because some guys, like, was it Damon John, which I really admire a lot, he likes to help people that are in the small business area. He likes to help the underdogs, okay? While other people that he knows that are doing well, the question he always asks is, if you're doing well, why do you need us? And some people are like, well, we have the money, but now we need the attention. We need the notoriety. We need the brand name in order for us to scale, okay? But in reality, There's so many businesses out there that are like that, okay? Now, everybody's the same. Every shark is different. There's some that will believe in the underdogs, while the others, like Mr. Wonderful, want to make as much money as possible, which there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you got to make them feel, okay, your business, your product, your service, it has to mean something. I'll give you an example. AI is booming. Okay, AI automation, AI this, AI that, where people are afraid that they're going to be replaced by robots. And here's the crazy part. It will happen. It will happen. But the majority of the time that you guys have got to ask yourselves is, how can I get better with my ability to speak? Hey, how can I get better? That's the only advantage you guys have against the robots, against the AI systems, okay? Because right now, they kind of speak like ChatGPT or Siri. Hi, how are you doing? In today's video, we can do this, right? That's how they speak. They speak from a logical standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint. They can't make people feel. At the end of the day, folks, communication is the most important thing in your life, not just from business or personal matters, or actually not just business, but personal matters as well. The way you talk to people. Okay? Not every transaction is a business transaction. It has to mean something, especially in here. And this is what I'm here to tell you guys, okay? If you want to be taken serious, if you guys want people to take you serious, you're going to have to change the way you do things. Now, I'm not saying change your style. Everybody has a style, okay? I love it that some people are more flamboyant and there are some people who sound downright serious, but there's a level of charisma that just fits well with the way they speak. But what I want to tell you guys is, at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Whether you want to level up your life with your communication skills, or you're looking to stay down here and hope and pray that you still have your job before the robots take over, before AI takes everything. You folks have the advantage right now. And the advantage is to upgrade your way of speaking. Man, I'm losing my voice. Let me give you some game. How can you upgrade your way of speaking, okay? Let's say you're a manager of a store. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say you're a manager of a fitness studio, okay? I'm not even gonna name names. We're just gonna call it ABC Fitness, okay? You get your people to gather up Monday morning. You make sure you have fruits or vegetables or a smoothie machine or something that'll keep everybody awake and healthy, even coffee as well. And you sit there and you talk to every single person about what the game plan is for this week, okay? But here's the crazy part, right? If you find that nobody's listening to you, I want you guys to take the finger that is either on your left or your right hand, whichever it is, and turn it around and point it at yourself. The reason why your people are performing the way they are or have issues is because it is your fault, okay? You got to point that at you. You have to understand this. When you say, oh, it's them, not me. It's them, not me. Sometimes it probably is them, but most of the time it is you. You have to keep them accountable. That's the reason why you're a manager. That's why you are a coach. That's why you are put in a position of power. Do you understand that? You guys are put in a position because the company that you work for thought you can do the job. Don't give them every reason to second guess their decisions at all. Okay, but the biggest thing that you guys need to understand first and foremost is Most people will only listen to those who walk the walk. Let me say that again. Most people that will listen to their leaders are leaders who walk the walk. Okay? Not the don't do what I do as I say. Complete malarkey, baloney, BS. Okay? I can tell you this right now. I'll give you an example. I remember there was this one guy I used to work with who was always getting picked on because he wasn't doing his job correctly, right? And the person just berated him. Hey, I told you that to do that last week, and I showed you. How come you didn't say anything or any of this other stuff, right? Was just berating him, right? And I'm just trying to figure out, I'm like, why is this kid not understanding what's going on, right? And this was a while back when I didn't know any better. And when I spoke to this person, let's call him Jeff. Okay, I don't want to put his name out there. I said, hey, Jeff, just, out of curiosity, my friend, what's going on, man? It's like you're messing up, but I don't, like help me understand, like, is everything good? Is everything okay? He's like, no, it's like I've just been going through so much stuff, like outside of here, I'm working a second job because I'm trying to support my sick mom, and, I'm kind of like the man of the house, and I'm just going through some stuff, man. I just can't really wrap my head around it, our manager's going super fast. I mean, he's very intimidating, and I don't know what to do. It's like I don't want to ask him for help because I think he might think that I'm stupid. You see what I mean? And I don't want to make him more mad than he is. And I'm like, okay, duly noted. So I remember walking up to my manager that day, okay, the same day I talked to Jeff, and I said, Mr. Manager, sir, I need to speak to you about something. And he's like, yeah, sure, Roy, let's step into my office. What's going on? So I said, I've noticed that you've been giving Jeff a hard time. He's like, oh, Jeff, yeah, right? And I can tell that he was getting irritated just even speaking that name. And I said, hold on a second, okay? I just talked to him just now, and it sounds like he's going through a lot. I mean, you gotta cut the guy some slack, He goes, oh, I've given him a week. And he can't get the cadence down. He can't get anything down. It's like he's lost. And I said, yes, he is. And this is where I told him the story that he told me. And I remember getting permission from him first to tell my boss, okay? And my boss at the time was like, so are you saying I'm stupid? I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. How about this? You let me, I want him to come under my wing. I want him to learn from me. Okay, let me see if there's something I can do. Maybe I can help him. I don't know. But the kid, he needs help. All right, let me see what I can do. Okay? And so my boss is like, okay, just as long as it doesn't mess up with your routine, with your group fitness training or your classes, whatever, right? So I worked with Jeff. I was like, okay. And I took him through the ropes, teaching him how to set up everything from start to finish, from how he sets up his music, how he sets up the equipment, how he talks to the people, how he has fun with the people. And I told Jeff, look, at the end of the day, there's so much to learn here, but I want you to do one thing for me first, okay? I want you to be you. I want you to put your own style. I want you to do it your way, but at the same time, I want you to get people to feel how they should truly feel about fitness. And I would say a couple of weeks later, crushing it in class. He was just like, he went from, so we're gonna pick up the weights here, and we're gonna go ahead and do a goblet squat, and then, you can tell his voice is kind of shaking. He's like, okay, and then we're gonna go over on this area, we're gonna do high knees, we're gonna hit our palms, for like 30 seconds, and then we're gonna, he sounded really unsure of himself, right? He went from that to, all right, guys, what's going on? I'm Jeff. Really appreciate you guys going here. And yes, Jeff, like the peanut butter, right? And somebody corrected him. He goes, oh, you mean Jeff? I said, same thing, Jeff. And he did that on purpose to get interaction, right? And when he did that, he goes, cool. So you see those little weights down there, the 25 pounders, the weights that are considered super light for most of you guys? we're gonna pick that up today, and guess what? We're gonna sit in our imaginary chair. We're gonna go ahead and pick up that weight, hold it right close to us like we have a newborn baby, protecting it from the world because the world is crazy today, and we're gonna go ahead and sit in that chair and stand it up and put it straight to sleep. Once we do that, we're gonna go ahead behind us, we're gonna go high knees, we're gonna do it as we are, as if we're like at a rock concert and we're just jamming on, lifting those knees up high to the heavens. You guys ready? You guys ready to do this? Let's go ahead. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay. Jeff crushed it that way. Now he got a little inspiration from me, but when he did that, my boss was just literally jaws dropped, everything. Like, what did you do to this person? Right? And I said, I cared. You know, I taught him little things here, but I love to teach, right? And so he went from being unsure to being sure. He went from being uncertain to being certain, right? And for you folks out there right now that are just tuning in, okay, I am, at the end of the day, the master motivator, the innovator, okay? Trying to help you guys get bigger, faster, stronger in your communication skills. And the best way to do it, first and foremost, is making sure that you guys have the confidence to do what you do. I need you guys on the chat right now, if you guys are watching, to put yes in the chat. That yes, I give myself permission to give myself confidence to move forward. Even if I don't know what the hell I'm even saying half the time. Okay? And that's the beauty of it, right? Half the time, even when you start speaking and you guys get this flow state, right? You guys are in this zone. You guys are gonna start realizing, you're gonna have awareness, you're gonna be like, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but it sounds freaking inspirational. I need you guys to get to that point. And here's the thing, not every talk that you're gonna do or every presentation that you do is gonna come out 100% perfect. We're not going for 100% perfect. We're going for 100% movement. We wanna move forward, not backwards. We don't wanna stand still. We wanna go high. We don't wanna go low. We wanna go straight to the sky. And in order for us to go straight to the sky, we gotta start climbing, and climbing requires movement, which means you guys need to start moving. Man, cough that time. Man, I was in it to win it, and then I choked, literally speaking. But yeah, so let's go ahead real quick. Let's see what I got going on. All right. So, oh boy. Okay, so one of the chats was, okay, so how do I get better with, I get the jitters when I'm speaking, how do I get rid of the jitters? So here's the thing, okay? If you guys get the jitters, or you guys feel super nervous and your voice starts to shake, so kind of like this, you know, and it starts to shake, it's normal. It's super normal. And here's the thing, it's adrenaline right now, okay? My biggest advice to you guys when you have the jitters, okay? Make sure, and this is what I always implement, this is a non-negotiable, make sure to exercise in the mornings, not in the evenings, in the morning time. Okay, it's gonna help take away a lot of that adrenaline, it's gonna help you focus, and it's gonna get your body ready for the day. And here's the thing too, for some of you guys that have adrenaline that you're trying to dump over and you still get that adrenaline, especially when you're on stage, do me a favor, continue to practice. Continue to rehearse push-ups. You know, you can do push-ups on the ground, or in this case, high knees, okay, to get the body going. Jumping jacks, anything that you can do. Or let's say if you're a former fighter, you could throw punches. You know what I mean? You can move around. You can do any of this stuff, right? You can just move your arms this way and that way. You can do whatever you want. But you guys need to move in order for you guys to take away that adrenaline. It's that extra energy that's building up inside of you because of fear. Okay, it's a fight or flight scenario. Okay, and I don't want to speak on that because that's beyond me. I used to remember what that is, the fight or flight, norepinephrine or epinephrine, whatever you want to call it, but it is, in order for you guys to reduce that, you got to move. Okay, but at the same time, I need you guys to do me a favor, especially when you feel like your voice is shaking, okay? I need you first and foremost to take a deep breath in. I need you guys to take a deep breath in and then breathe out, okay? In through the nose and then out through the mouth, okay? And even close your eyes, okay? And know that you got this. And know that, and here's the thing, okay? Don't let fear drive you. You have let fear drive you your whole life. And it stops today, okay? You guys are always wondering your entire lives, well, I can't do that. I don't have time. Well, I can't do this. What if I fail? Bullshit. What if it works? You do have time. And here's another thing too. I want to go over this real quick with you guys. When you guys tell me you don't have time, it's not that you don't have time. It's that you don't know how to prioritize. Okay, we have 24 hours out of the day, and I need you guys to take notes real quick. 8 hours, 9 hours, you guys have time to work. Okay, you do that, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 15 hours out of the day. 8 of those hours you probably sleep, right? So that's 15 hours, 5, and then maybe 8. I know you guys get less sleep. So let's say you got about 8 to 9 hours. You got time for family. Let's say it's 2. On average, you guys have 5 hours. Okay? 5 hours to improve yourself, to get yourself ready for the world, for the task at hand. Are you guys proving that to yourselves? Are you guys improving your communication skills? Because here's the thing, when you guys don't improve your way, or if you guys don't improve the way that you speak, everybody else that half-asses their work or doesn't do as much work as you do, the gift of the gab, the person that talks like they know exactly what they're talking about, the person who's extroverted, they're going to lap you 100,000 times over. Because these guys know how to speak. They're not afraid. You want to know the difference between you and them? Even though they do less, you want to know why they always say, oh man, I'm good with the boss. The boss is good with me going early. And everybody else is like, well, that's not freaking fair. Why is it that the boss lets you go home early but not me? You know what I mean? And it happens. It happens because they know how to speak and talk to make them feel a certain way and to get what they want, while you are given a task and you guys are wondering, how come I didn't get that same treatment? Okay, and I'm not saying all businesses do that, but you guys do know this. In business, no matter what business is out there are people that have been given preferential treatment, and that's the truth, okay? And here's the advantage that you have that they don't, okay? Those extroverts that don't get better, that are naturally born speakers, they hit a ceiling. Their ceiling is here. Your ceiling is here if you choose to be up here. Right now, you're way at the bottom, okay? You're not even ground level. You're not even ground zero. You literally are at the bottom of the earth, okay? You are negative, my friends. You guys have to start getting better in how you present yourself, how you speak, how you talk to people. You guys even got to have fun with it. Even like I said before, it'll be cringeworthy. Yes, that's fine. But here's another thing that I need you guys to understand as well, okay? There's an old saying that goes, you can love me, you can hate me, but you can't ignore me, okay? You can either play the hero, you can play the villain, you will get the attention, but at the end of the day, it's better to get noticed than not get noticed at all and be submerged with the others in the island of irrelevancy. There's so many people that are trying to go up here. And here's the crazy part, guys. The newest currency in the world is attention. Okay, whether it's negative or positive. Okay, and I can literally go down the rabbit hole between both, but I don't have time to do that today. I just need you guys to do this one thing for me, please. Get better with your communication. Excuse me. Get better with your communication skills. First off, you need to be confident. You need to give yourself permission to say yes. Yes, I am confident in myself. And if people laugh at me, so freaking what? Because you want to know why? Flip it. Think about this. Flip it. If they're laughing at you, guess what? Guess what that means? They're paying attention to you. The worst thing that can happen to you, folks, is when nobody sees you or nobody pays attention to you. You're like a ghost, right? Especially if you guys are doing social media and you guys are talking in front of a bunch of people, in front of a live community, from everybody. Like, it's not scripted. Like, these people here are here because they're here, right? They're here to do their own thing. But here's the thing too. They create attention for themselves because they know it gets attention, whether it's positive or negative. Most of the time it's negative. It's easy to get negative attention, but positive, it's the hardest part, okay? But your job is to create attention for yourself. Now, I'm not saying do something illegal and then get in trouble for it. I'm not saying that, okay? Don't do those crazy pranks. It's not worth it. Yeah, it might be funny, but guess what? The pros or the cons outweigh the pros there. Truly do. So let me go ahead and get the next question out here. I say and ah a lot. What do I say? Okay, so when you're speaking, right? Let's say you're doing a presentation and you're saying, okay, and if you look at slide 2, you can see that the graphs are going downwards, and that means that we're not doing so well. But in a way, if you notice, the upward projection of this is where we're supposed to be at, right? So it's actually going in an upward trend because of September, and we should be doing. If you guys do that, you sound unsure. The fastest way, the quickest way to fix that is to do this. You guys are probably wondering, what does that mean? What did you do just now? What's this mean? What's counting with your fingers mean? What is that? Silence. Don't speak. For example, I'll go back to the graph. So, the graph that you see before you, towards the bottom is a downward projection of what we're doing, of where we're at right now. We're not doing well. And I understand that. Now, if you look at the upward projection, which is shown for September, it shows that we're going in an upward spiral or in an upward projection, which means we have more customers coming in from different parts of the world. And not only that, the season is kind of messed up. But that's the beauty of business. But at the same time, we got our people working around the clock to make sure we capture every lead. You see the difference there? Even though I looked away and I looked a little unsure with certain nuances, when you pause, you sound way better than you did when you just rambled and said, well, whatever. Silence is golden. Pausing is the key to you guys getting better. You understand that? So let me see how much time I have left. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna take one more question, and then we're gonna end the live stream. Okay. How do you get better at speaking over time? I want to say practice, right? I want to say practice, but in actuality, it's experience. You can practice 1,000,000 times over, but what you need to do is that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to say. Reps. You need to get your reps in. You need to go out there. You got to put yourself out there. Yes, it's going to be scary, and it's fine. The world is your playground, folks. You shouldn't be afraid to play in it. And remember, like I said before, if you're feeling scared, here's the crazy part that I've learned the other day. Feeling nervous, feeling scared is the same as excitement. And I think they did a study on this. When you actually flip the script and think about, oh my gosh, I'm nervous, to, oh my gosh, no, I'm excited. If you flip the script there, it works the same way. It's just how we interpret it. You guys have to reframe it. Okay, if you're like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here, right? They all look serious, whatever. No, you go in there, you own the freaking room. Okay? You go in there and you own it. You don't sit there and think, man, what if this person asks me a dumb question and I don't know how to answer it and they sound smart and I sound stupid? No, own it. Here's another thing too. Never, ever, 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 ever think that people know better than you. Okay? Because I can tell you this right now, a person sitting down asking the questions, they think they have power. When in actuality, it's easy for them because they're sitting around, they're listening to you, and they can easily critique you. But the person that's in the arena, doing what they're supposed to do, pulling in the reps, doing as God intended them to do, what they were meant to do, which is to change the world, that person should be rewarded. But in this case, with the person sitting down, you shouldn't be worried about them. It's nothing more than just personal opinion. You guys understand that, okay? I'll give you an example. All right, I'll give you this example, and then we're gonna end it for today. I know there is a person, I forget his name, but I've been to this conference at least maybe 3 times in the past month or so, okay? And this guy likes to use his ChatGPT, his AI, to kind of explain like on his expertise and just trying to help the person out, right? And I think his intentions are pure, but it comes off as very douchey, I guess, as very like the other person that's hearing it from the other end is not being receptive to his question, right? I think one of the questions he asked was, I think right now you need to ask yourself like who your audience is, because right now all I'm hearing is you're doing this thing where everybody else does what they're supposed to, right? Like you're doing retreats and it's like everybody's doing retreats. What makes it different and all this other things, right? But in this case, for me, when I hear that and he goes, yeah, because I looked up AI and everything else, and I can tell you that right now whatever you're putting out just sounds the same, okay? Now, in this case, and I'm gonna go over this later on, okay? The way I would have answered the question, because the girl, she was just kind of like hesitant, deer in the headlights. She doesn't know now I can tell that her confidence from being here and being this empowered woman to being kind of like slumping down because she feels defeated because this person thinks they know better. And then not only that, they list their accolades and everything else, right? And so when you guys present and you guys get asked a question, okay, fire the question back to the other person. It's just like sales. When you do that, you put the question back into their territory and you get them to answer it, right? I'll give you an example. For example, I remember I did a talk one time and this person asked me the question. They're like, I've kind of noticed you use a lot of, vocal variety and everything else. And to tell you the truth, it's very distracting. And, being in business, I don't think I would do, like for me, for example, no offense to you, but I wouldn't do business with you. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. He was trying to put his 2 cents in, which is fine, okay? So what I said was, yeah, I understand, completely understand. Let me ask you a question. You have a house, right? Do you have a house or an apartment? Okay. And he's like, I mean, I have an apartment. Okay, cool. What color's your apartment? I mean, it's blue. Okay, how about your car? You have a car. What color's your car? Well, red. Okay. What about your phone right now? What's the color of your phone? Right? Or your computer. What's the color of your computer right now? He goes, it's gray. Okay, so, there's a study that shows that if everything is the same color, that it's going to increase your sales by 60%, right? And then he goes, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, hold on, stop right there. Exactly, right? What you're telling me is that what I am doing makes no sense, right? While in reality, what I was trying to do was I was trying to use you as an example. I already knew you were going to ask me that question before you even asked it, right? And here's the crazy thing, folks, if you guys caught on, right? I did the cringeworthy thing, even though it was over the top. He fell into my trap. You guys noticed that? Because he was so in tune with, he didn't even care, let's be honest, he didn't really care about the presentation. He found that one flaw in my presentation, or many flaws, if he wants to go that route, to explain why he would not do business with me. But in reality, what did I do, folks, at the beginning of this presentation? This is what, do you remember? Do you know what this, what I'm trying to speak about today? Do you remember the title of my talk? And he says, yeah, what is it? And he goes, attention, bingo. That's what I did. Well, it's not, you didn't capture my attention. I said, my friend, I even said it before you even spoke of it. I said, whether you are loved or you're hated, it's better to be loved or hated rather than ignored. And you proved my point right? And here's the thing, folks. His question, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? And I appreciate your question, right? But at the same time, you fell into my trap. Now, here's the thing. You can use AI as much as you want. You can give me as much as you want. I'll take it for what it is. And here's the beauty of this, folks. When people are giving you pointers, okay, it doesn't mean implement them. And here's the crazy part. You can experiment. You can put it out there. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I want you guys to use your style, okay? And here's the crazy part. If the goal is to get people to love you more, then you got to do exactly what they want. If you want people to hate you more, you got to do the opposite. But at the end of the day, it is an endless cycle of test and learn, test and learn, test and learn until you find your tribe. And here's the crazy part. What may not work for you may not work for everybody else, right? Now, and here's what I did. I said, okay, everybody in favor of that guy, and you can be completely honest with me. Raise your hand if what he's saying is right. And be honest, guys. I want everybody to be honest. And I look around the room. Yeah, okay. Sounds like it's a you problem. And it's okay. Again, no offense to you. Now, for me, I wanted to be a little petty, and that's not a good way to do things, but I noticed that guy was always very condescending. And I don't know if that's just his way, but here's the thing too, right? Just like in business, just like in customer service, your job is not to win. Your job is to seek to understand, not seek to win, because you may fulfill that ego, but you lost the goal. You may have won the battle, but you lost the war. At the end of the day, the goal is to get people on your side to agree with you, so that way you can get exactly what you want, so that way you guys can break bread, you guys can do business, you can move forward into the future and start building something great. Now, that's it for today, folks. That's pretty much done. Guys, join me on Sundays, and I believe I'm going to do this around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whichever it is. But guys, look, it's been great talking to you. We're going to be doing something super crazy, especially on a Sunday. We're going to be going over a couple of things. We're going to be doing a workshop. Make sure to tune in. Until next time, I will see you all on the next one. Peace out. All right, cool.